Hello, welcome back to the Pesterquest playthrough. Today we are going to be playing Nepeta's route. A few quick things. I'm sorry if my voice sounds weird. I might have COVID. That's all I'm going to say for now. I'm just kind of mad about it. But yeah. I don't think I'm going to do any voice acting for this. Sorry. At least not extreme. Time to face facts. Something is going on here. Not that you didn't already know that. You've had the blurry outlines of all this strangeness for a long time. It's only after your son with the Radia that you've managed to fill in all the shapes and colors. Your friends, the companions you've been hell and back with, you forgot about them. That feels like, gah! You can't even come up with a sufficiently dramatic mixed metaphor. It feels bad. Your desperate friendship thirst was compelled. You get that. And mostly you weren't off by now. What the fuck else are you supposed to do? It's basically just your job now, so you'll keep doing that job. Now let's just get to the damn route. Who did Equius tell you about? He's Moirail, right? He'll go to try to find her in the middle of the woods, which is a very normal thing to do. It'll be normal. It's a normal kind of day. You zap up to the mouth of a cave and are immediately set upon by a wild beast. Yellow eyes flash and sharp teeth glitter. You brace yourself to be made into dinner. The wild lioness sits back on her haunches and contemplates the stranger.
The wild lioness sits back on her haunches and contemplates the stranger.
That's how you know she does that, she tells you. But, taking a closer look, you realize that she is, in fact, not a wild lioness, just a very unkempt troll in a green coat and grubby t-shirt. She smells like a fire pit.
Issy licks her snout and tries to figure out who has happened upon her den. A friend? A foe? Dinner, perhaps?
The troll girl licks her lips, and you realize that even though she is not some bloodthirsty predator, she does have very sharp canines and clawed gauntlets on her little hands. She's small. With trolls, you discover the hard way that size does not translate to a 1-to-1 strength ratio. You tell her that you're a friend, definitely a friend. And not at all the sort of friend you playfully fight with and accidentally eviscerate, because you never know trolls. The girl, whose name you have a sneaking suspicion might be Nepeta, scratches at her chin, her fingers curled up like a paw. You're worried that she's going to put her eye out with those claws.
Issy wrinkles her nose and wonders what anyone could be doing all the way out here in the wastes. It's not very plausible.
That was a bit of a stretch.
How did you come upon my cave? Issy says in a growly growler.
Okay, do we play along with her role-playing, or do we stop the nonsense? It just so happens that you are an expert role-player, and by expert you mean you once played Soldier Purby, so the Shursal J-Blood kid, which you'd forgotten about until literally yesterday. Anyways, what you mean is, you've got some moves. You go up and shove Nepeta your throat, yielding it to who is clearly the alpha female here. You're barely even role-playing here. Every olive bird you've met could rip out your intestines and wear them as a shawl. Nepeta beams down at you, before remembering that she is a regal lioness.
Issy nuzzles the strange little cub and welcomes them into her cave.
I'm praying to realize that she doesn't need to describe her actions out loud because you're right in front of her. Nepeta nuzzles you gently with the top of her head. You get the feeling she doesn't get out much. You tell her that you didn't mean to startle her or anything. You just think that you have a mutual friend, a big indigo blood named Equius. Nepeta digs her nails into your arm. Her eyes go wide.
You know Equius? How? Why did you meet him? Tell me everything.
Well, it's kind of a funny story. Before you can get into it, Nepeta launches herself off of you and scampers into the cave. When she runs, her knuckles occasionally touch the ground. You aren't sure if she moves like that naturally, or if this is just very, very in character. She pauses at the mouth of the cave and gestures you inside, the sleeves of her coat flopping down past her wrists. If you had parents, they probably would have taught you not to follow cat girls in the caves, but you didn't, so you're totally down. The cave is small and chilly. Several animal pelts cover the cavern floor, from creatures too large to be wolves but too shaggy to be bears, maybe some sort of wolf bear? All the furniture is hewn from stone, the recuperator cone formed from a natural hollow in the rock. Of all the hives you spent time in, this one is the most rustic. You wonder why. Nepeta isn't a high blood, but she's clearly not a low blood either. She could have made a hive at least as nice as Tavros'.
I see, look comes a strange club into her den and invites them to sit down whenever they please. She realizes that her visitor is probably sleepy and hungry. Luckily, AC has a fresh kill.
Great, that is really lucky. Nepeta skips back outside, leaving you alone and feeling, well, like you followed a feral child into her cave. The torchlight burnishes a shape strange and foreboding. The irregular flicker disorienting. People used to do everything by the fire. No matter medieval art is so preposterous. Dogs with the faces of old men and old men with the faces of babies. And speaking of art, drawings pepper the cave's walls. Shanky and crude, although you doubt even Michael fucking Angelo could do much on a canvas like this. The pictures seem to depict Nepeta and various other trolls, some of whom you recognize. You see Karkat's snubby little horns, and Equius' broken one. A few pictures have been viciously scratched out. A couple of these self-portraits of Nepeta also feature a large, sleek white cat. You wonder if that's her hunter Sona. Lion Sona? Whatever. Then you hear a growl behind you and realize, oh right, Nepeta has a Lucis. Pants de Leon! OMG! Hot, damp breath touches the back of your neck, and you turn around slowly as carefully as you can. Oh, hello, kitty! Two hissing mouths open into two snarls, as a big cat packs you up against the cavern wall.
Old Pound, stop that silly kitty! This is a friend!
Oh! Nepeta hurries back inside, throwing herself on her Lucis and petting rambunctiously. Pounces hisses immediately turn into purrs. She rolls on her back and bats big, terrifying paws into the air.
Oh, who is a good kitty? Who is the very best kitty? Pounce, we have a guest for dinner. They know Equius. You do, right?
Nepeta looks up at you with sharp little eyes.
You do know mine very well. Meow well. You weren't lioning?
Oh, definitely not. You would never lion. I mean, never forget Equius, no matter how hard you try. Although you did recently forget every single person when you ever knew. That absolutely will not happen ever again, though. You won't allow it.
Essie leaves her weird friend in the very capable paws of her Lucis while she goes to prepare a delicious meal.
Oh, damn, Nepeta, please don't go away and leave your guest alone with a ferocious beast. The pet seems pretty well placid by Nepeta's insistence that you are a friend and on food. She curls up on one of the animal pelts, tucking her head, her tail twitches and her ears flick. You're pretty sure she's only pretending to sleep. Like she's giving you a shot, and if you fuck up, it's lung shot. You sit very still and try your best to look unthreatening. Just a little while ago, this would have been easy. You'd be totally defenseless and thinking the most unthreatening thoughts, but now I remember at least a little of who you were. And you know what you've done, even if some of it was done in dead-end timelines that never actually come to pass. You're not sure if you can still call yourself an innocent bystander. Nepeta derails this dangerous train of thought by dragging in the huge haunch. It's just really the only word for it. A haunch. Something's leg. Wow. When she said she had fresh kill, you figured that was part of the roleplay. Like she was gonna pull out a DiGiorno or something like that. But nope, she really did tear apart some animal and bring you its leg. She has blood smeared all over one of her cheeks, her hair in pieces across her sweaty forehead. You get why she and Equius get along. They have an equivalent ferocity. Good thing you are not a vegetarian. You're gratified to discover Nepeta appears to draw her roleplay line at devouring raw meat. You wonder if trolls could eat a meat raw, or if it would make them sick. They definitely seem to be more natural predators than humans are, but then again, most of them live in houses and eat cup noodles and play video games. I've never actually met anyone like Nepeta. You watch her build a fire, and then take yourself on a little trip to the mouth of the cave while she cuts up the meat and spears it onto the sticks to cook. You come back over to the fire, and when the meat cooks looks a little less like flesh and more like food. Honestly, it shouldn't bother you. You've seen and been through so much worse. Guess the mind is strange and a many-layered beast.
There you are. I thought you ran out of the waste like a big, powerful idiot. It's dangerous out there.
Well, she went out there. Although it's possible she's dangerous too. That makes Nepeta smile. She still can't quite meet your eyes, but she's fidgeting with her gauntlets less than she was before.
So, you really met Equius? Really?
She slides up close to you, almost too close to talk comfortably. You wonder if this is the first conversation she's ever had that wasn't through a computer screen. You tell her that yes, really, you met him. You spent a good amount of time with him too.
That's incredible! I've never seen that silly guy hang out with anybody before. Except for maybe Vriska's.
Vriska's? Oh, does she mean Vriska? You know her too.
Really?
Yep. You would probably be hanging out with her right now if she hadn't gone off to do some Antifa shit with Terezi.
You know Terezi too? GC?
Oh yeah, for sure. Does Nepeta? You're expecting her to exclaim and wag her imaginary tail. Instead, she goes quiet. Fat pops and sizzles in the fire. Across the cave, Pounce lets out a lazy squeak that sounds like it came from a much smaller cat. You ask Nepeta if everything was okay.
So what you're saying is, you know all my friends?
Well, that's not exactly what you said. It is kind of creepy if you dwell on it. But you keep meeting people through other people. That's normal, right? Well, you just happened upon Vriska on a beach, and Aradia found you asleep in a field. You haven't asked Nepeta if she knows Aradia, but you're sure that she does somehow. Slowly, Nepeta lifts her gaze from the flames and meets your eyes for the very first time. Maybe it's the firelight or the shadows gambozzling on the walls, but she looks haunted, hollowed out and filled with something you can't name.
What are you?
Nepeta may be goofy, playful, and awkward. That doesn't make her an idiot. And you get the idea that threatening her, unlike one, is a very good way to have a very bad time. Oh, Lord. Okay, so I looked on the wiki, and there are ways to get good endings from both of these. So, I'm going to leave this video here, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to make a video showing the victory ending and then the alternate good ending, because there's two good endings to this, I think. Yeah, I think. So yeah.